Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well, um, and that everything is doing well. I hope everybody has their plans for the holidays. I'm staying here. There's a big storm coming in, so going across the mountains to my parents is not the smartest action. So I am staying home. That's okay. I'm going over to the neighbors for some dinner, so that's all right. We're supposed to get up to 2 inches tonight of rain. So that is interesting. It's supposed to rain all week. So I don't think we're expecting snow, but it might change. Who knows? Who knows? So who out there is expecting a white Christmas or a white Hanukkah? Because they're same start day this year, which is I think pretty rare in history. All right, welcome. You are at Sow and Tare live chat. My name is Katrina, and you are at the right place. We do this every Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And today's topic, we already said in the Monday on Monday, I do a week in review of the previous week and weekend. And so, as you guys saw, if you saw that, Mr. Ringo was getting in my face. And challenges is what the topic is going to be. But first, we're going to say hello to everybody and welcome. Let's see who's here. All right, Verna's here. Welcome, Verna. Verna is in blue. She's vase placed with a little wrench, and she's my moderator. She catches bad guys. If you want to grow food in an apartment setting, check out her channel. All right, about time you got here. You know what, Steve? I was 1 minute late. Because I was putting my homemade hot chocolate into a mug, and okay, guys, I gotta leave you for 2 seconds because I gotta go get some marshmallows for my hot chocolate. Be right back. All right, I already gave some of these out as gifts, but I want to share with you, since I'm going to put them in here anyway, what they look like after a week old. So this one, if PJ's on here, maybe she'll let us know how hers turned out. So this is the one with the egg whites. Boy, that's a little. We shade it. And it's squishy, but it's not. It's more firm now than it was fresh. So it's the texture when you eat it is actually more similar to a fresh-ish store-bought one, I guess, but it's still more squishy and is more fresh. From the one without egg whites, they're pretty much the same as they were before. So, yeah. But we'll put one on each of those in the hot chocolate. Okay. It's always kind of hard to close Ziploc bags when you are not using the fingers you just licked. All right, back to you guys. So yeah, that's my excuse for being late. But welcome, Steve. You're early. Oh my gosh. Okay. Verna's making ham tomorrow. All right. And that's funny, Verna. So you said that there was a blink at 6. I've actually been in StreamYard for a while. I don't know why it blinks. I don't know. Dawn's here. Good evening, Dawn. Welcome. And good job on your walk. And I saw your updates. Good job. Buster's here. Hey to all, he says. Hey, Buster. Welcome. Steve says they don't cook for the holiday here. Probably something on the barbecue. That's cooking. Yeah, that's cooking. It counts. All right. Ham for Verna and Lucy at her place. Yep. Ooh. Is it warm where Buster is? So Steve's saying, hey to Buster, share your heat with us. Is it cold where you are, Steve? It's in the 40s, I think, right now. But like I said, it's supposed to rain, not snow. So there you go. Oh, it's been nice there, he says. Hey, Tommy. Tommy's resident alien. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. No snow here, but we may get rain and scattered storms tomorrow here in Texas. I've been paying attention. So I know a lot of people pay attention to Ryan Hall for weather, and he's really good. But there's a local guy. Now I'm going to have to actually tell you who it is. So there's a local one. It's called Pacific Northwest Weather Watch, and he's based out of Washington. And so I've been paying attention to him since the bomb cyclone stuff. And it's really interesting because he shows the American version of kind of what things are coming out of American calculations, predictions. And then also he shows the European version. So that's pretty interesting because sometimes they're very similar and sometimes they're very different. I know Santa Cruz just lost a pier. Santa Cruz, California just lost a pier today. They had 18-foot tall waves. So those were waves larger than the tsunami that happened several years ago. That was like a 4-foot tsunami. So yeah, 18-foot waves. Not fun. A couple of people had to be rescued out of the ocean. So I just read about that. Anyway, so far here, rain. Steve says no whiteness down here in Mississippi. And Dawn says we are eating leftover frozen Thanksgiving and probably going to the lake if it isn't raining. No snow here. It's 50s. Oh my gosh, it's warmer there than here. Yeah. I mean, typically growing up, Thanksgiving meal and Christmas meal looked very similar. So yeah, especially if you're small area, small people, not necessarily small people, but small amount of people, that is a really good idea. Yeah. No snow at Verna's. All right. All right. Everybody's saying hi. Tommy says, always need marshmallows. Well, Tommy, we made marshmallows on the Katrina's Kits. Cook with Me Live. That is my my membership on YouTube, and we do it every month to get together, and it was a lot of fun. I made a complete mess because I missed a step and then had to go back. It got messy and sticky, but it was fun. Yeah. Yes, homemade marshmallows. Absolutely, absolutely. Alicia, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I still can't believe it's supposed to be 73 degrees here next Monday. Where are you that it's going to be 73? My goodness. Welcome. Alicia, I don't think I've seen you on here before. So let us know. I should have said this at the beginning. You guys should tell us what you're growing and what you're hoping to grow and hoping to learn. I always say that. I forgot. All right. Dawn says, did you see Coke came out with fructose-free soda for kosher people? Shame on them for discriminating the rest of us. I don't think it's a discrimination. I'm just thinking it's an inclusion, and maybe the word choice is maybe off. I didn't see that. I generally don't pay attention to soda-related news. I don't drink soda very often. When I do, it's usually a root beer with pizza. And that I stir the bubbles out of. Yes, I'm weird. I'm bubbly enough. Erica's here. Welcome, Erica. Hope you're doing well. All right. Buster says it's in the 50s. Oh my gosh. Dawn says Ryan Hall, I gave up on. He is as entertaining as the rest. Got my weather wrong, so I moved on. He does pretty good. A weather person, on the news. I always said that's the one job you can always get wrong and still have a job. But yeah. Like Steve says, weathermen are just bad gamblers. The thing is, there's lots of data, and there's data that we have, and to be able to predict things, like we have patterns that have happened in the past, you can make some extrapolations from. but seems like some of the weather stuff recently is a little more has a little more attitude, shall we say. Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, huge waves. Yes. Yep, 18-foot waves in Santa Cruz took out a pier. 2 people had to be rescued. One person was able to swim ashore. So yeah. I haven't heard from anybody that I know in that area. I just saw that it came up on my where did I oh on my phone I have the weather channel and it has like the weather related little videos that's like a couple minutes long. Yeah. 47 at Verna's place. Okay, you guys wanting to know temperature? 48. 48 here. Erica says, time goes by way too fast. My granddaughter, uh, Persephone, turned yesterday? Turned something yesterday. Turned over or turned a certain age. Well, congratulations either way, Erica. Yeah, Dawn says we intentionally saved some Thanksgiving dinner for Christmas because we never cook on Christmas. Run away and have some fun, then eat when we get home. Absolutely. That is a fabulous idea, Dawn. Yeah. Steve says we have 48, but feels like 32. Yep. Yep. Okay, Verna says, oh, you're just saying that you're in Ohio. Yes. Getting ready to do microgreens. Awesome. I've not done microgreens, but I have done sprouts. I said I was going to start that, but you know what? I still have 4 zucchinis left to eat. My giant zucchinis that I got. Not that I got, that grew in the garden. I still have 4 of them left, and I have squashes, and so I'm going to delay the sprouts, even though they're super tasty, just to make myself go through the stuff I have already. I considered making pineapple zucchini, the fake pineapple out of it, but I still have quite a bit. And I think I can wait until doing that next year. It's a really good recipe. It's a really easy recipe, something that can be water bathed. So if you guys remind me at the beginning of zucchini season, once things start growing, I'll do a video of that for next year. So yeah. Yeah. Is it windy, Steve? Rona says it must be windy. Alicia's in North Texas. We have wacky weather as far as what I'm growing. Just spinach at the moment that replanted itself. My favorite kind. Volunteers. Hope to get back into Quaternix quail next spring and restart my garden. Absolutely, absolutely. My plan is Quaternix quail probably late spring, early summer. I'm still searching for a place to put. I want to grow. I want to have them in a high tunnel where I also have like trees that are on the border of temperature here. And so I'm still looking for that area and looking into things. So there's a lot of exploration that I still need to do and research. So, but yes, I will be getting back into quail. If anybody has quail questions, we can answer them. Just because I don't have them now doesn't mean I don't know. Yeah. All right. So Alicia, if you don't know Tommy's Resident Alien 86, you guys can know each other. All right. We're both in Texas. Dawn says, I did put on 2 trays of sunflower microgreens and 1 mixed tray of radish, broccoli, cabbage, arugula, etc. Good, good, good. That's nice. Oh, you've watched some of the videos, but you haven't managed to capture live yet. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put this in here just because we're having the conversation, but if people are not already signed up for the Facebook group, the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, then this is the link to do so. And make sure you answer all the questions and accept agree to the rules. There's someone else referred someone and they just didn't answer anything. So I sent them a note. But if that was someone on here, go ahead and let them know, hey, this is real. You can redo it and be okay. Because otherwise, I don't know who you are. You know? All right. Oh, John says I don't like drama queen weather people. All right. All right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, she turns 1. Okay. That's good. Congratulations to her, Erica. Alicia says she's a lurker. That's okay. It's YouTube. You just get the information you need, right? Yeah, a year. How old is the puppy, Erica? How is he doing? Erica has a support puppy. Well, a support dog. It's just he's a puppy right now. It's very cute. Oh, it just started raining at Erica's place. I went to feed the rabbits right before I came in, and it wasn't raining when I went out there. By the time I was getting through them, I'm like, okay, I have to cover the container because I didn't bring an umbrella. I didn't bring anything to cover it with because some of it goes back in the bin because I always bring extra. So I had to cover it to try and not have rain get in it because it was raining. So yeah, we're supposed to get rain, I think up to 2 inches overnight. I think that's what it said, but a lot of rain. Homemade hot chocolate. All right. Dawn says, I've never water bathed, just pressure canned. I need to learn that. You went backwards, Dawn. Water bathing is super duper easy. You don't even need a special pot. They do make special pots you can put more in, but it doesn't do anything different. So you can use a stock pot. You don't need any special pots. You don't need any special equipment, although I do recommend you get the tongs to take them out. I canned for years using regular tongs. That is not fun, nor is it recommended. So yeah, it is a really, really fun thing if you have the right tongs. And so water bath canning is for acidic foods. So those are your fruits, those are your juices. The zucchini, pineapple, zucchini, whatever it is, that actually is acidic enough. So that's a way to water bath zucchini, and you use pineapple juice to make it acidic enough. And then also that's what you would use for what else? Tomatoes you can do either way. They're leaning towards pressure canning those now, but you can do them either way. But you have to add acid for both of them for some reason. But water bath canning is really good. It's pickles. Pickles are water bath canned. Yeah. So cool. All right. G.W. Geen. You grow huge zucchini that I saw at your place in Gilroy. I don't know your name, so I don't know who you are. But yeah, the ones from last year, was it from last year? Yeah, the ones from last year, or I don't know if you actually came to the house or you just saw it on videos, actually. I just realized that. But the big yellow ones, that was a hybrid. That was a natural hybrid. I didn't plant them. That was a natural hybrid between Black Beauty zucchinis, which I think is what was in this garden because I didn't plant this garden. But it's the typical, that's what's in the store kind of thing. Black Beauty zucchini and yellow crookneck squash. That's what I had planted the year before, and it was a hybrid, and it was super yummy. But yeah, natural hybrid. There you go. Yeah. So welcome. Uh-oh, Tommy's out of quail at the moment too. Might start again in spring. Not sure yet. Depends on a couple things if we can make it happen. I kind of miss him though. Yeah, you know what? So Callie Quail Keeper is back making videos. I don't know if you guys know Brooke, but she has a channel called Callie, like California, Callie Quail Keeper. And she's back to doing things. And I was watching one of her things recently, and I heard the male crow, and I'm like, oh, I remember that. And then doing the, the girls do their little cheep, 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 cheep. Yeah, it's very cool. Roberta says, I miss both the rabbits and the quail. Yep. So all baby rabbits have eyes that are open. I haven't made sure that all eyes are open. Does that make sense? All baby rabbits have at least one eye open. So I need to go and check that again. I haven't seen them out of the box yet, but I did already teach one how to get back in just for demonstration purposes for a video that I'm doing. So yeah. Yeah. Dawn says I had to get out of quail in February, but I will be restarting this summer. Yep. It sounds like something's happened with a lot of people. So luckily we know good people to get eggs from. I recommend My Shire Farm and Guidro's Family Farm. Both of those are really good places. And Vern, if you can put their links, that would be maybe helpful since so many people are restarting. Thank you. Vern's awesome. Did they finish leveling yet? No. They came today for like a half day. People are sick, and so they were told to do certain things and then leave. So they're there for a half day. And it's kind of up in the air whether or not they're coming back on Friday or not, because they have another job going on. But they'll definitely be back the following week to finish up, I believe. So yeah, there's huge piles of dirt out there. If you guys watched the video from today, the week in the review, all of that dirt came out from underneath the house. I don't have a basement. It looks like I should. They needed to dig it out 18 inches. 18 inches is not that big, right? That's like that big. So that they could work. They could get to those locations. Everything is now on temporary supports and temporary everything. It's also the original supports are still there too, but it needs to be leveled a little more. But there's definitely a difference. If you guys ever have your house leveled, there's cracks that get in the corners by the doorways, and actually there's a crack along the wall in the other bedroom. But those are normal; those are to be expected. Kind of similar to cracks that were at my grandma's house. She lived in Los Altos, so the fault that's there, the San Andreas fault, is not one line, it's a spider web of lines. And she had one fault line within 2 feet on either side. So one fault line here, one fault line here, of the spider web of the San Andreas fault. And her house lived on jacks, but she always got those cracks by the door frames and stuff. But totally repairable, totally fixable, totally expected. But the floor is much more level. It's not there yet, but I mean, it had to come up 3.5 inches. That's quite a bit. So yeah, they'll be back. I'm guessing it'll be next week. It'll be a surprise if it's on Friday, but I'm guessing it'll be next week. But yeah, all that dirt is just from 18 inches having to dig out. And I found out from a neighbor who moved next door to here back in the 70s. She knew a lady that was older at the time who was here when the original house was built, which was down in the pasture. I showed you guys that on the video where I took you guys around. I don't know if I did that on the premiere or if I did that on one of the pasture videos, but there's a chimney. It's only like this tall. It's like the bottom remains of a chimney, and then next to it is it's like a foundation, cement foundation, and that was a house that was built in the 30s, and then in the 40s when the ladies, I don't know if they weren't married yet or got married, but they built the house here, and her parents was down there. And so when he got back from wartime in the 40s, they built this house. And I'm guessing he probably built it. And I think it was a one-room house at that point. And there has been a couple different add-ons. So the date I got through the realtor system is 1956. But according to the neighbor, it's a person who used to be the neighbor who actually owned this house a couple owners ago. They said that that addition happened when this lady had her third kid. So it's kind of interesting and just learning about what the guys are finding underneath. A little concerning. One of the supports is on a split piece of firewood. It's worked this long. There's a lot of rotted beams though under there. Um, some of the supports are on, I put a rock here. So there's it. I don't have questions as to why it fell or why it slumped, but yeah, they needed a house. They probably needed it quick, and I think it was probably just this one room is what I think it was. Maybe the kitchen area. I think that might have been one of the add-ons. I don't know. Anyway, it's really interesting. I'm learning about the history through what the guys are finding underneath, and through I can show you guys this, and through verbal history from the neighbor. And so one of the things they found was a matchbook. And that's pretty old, right? Yeah. It's a POW matchbook. um I don't think it has a date on it, but it's old. Oh, it has. I didn't even look on the inside. I'm just going to read this for historical reasons. No matches. But on the inside, it says over 1,600 men are prisoners of war or missing in action in Southeast Asia. As we look forward to the end of this war, these men must not be forgotten. We must never repeat the tragedy of not demanding a full accounting of our men prior to the truce, as in Korea, where 389 men believed to be prisoners were never accounted for. This time, we must have a full accounting via an international inspection team to ensure the return of all our men. No American should deny his responsibility towards the helpless plight of these men. You can help. And then they give a contact for Los Angeles and for DC. Sorry, I'm reading from the light bit from there, and parts of it are a little dirty. So, but I found that very interesting. The guy knew I was interested to see, what was under there. He also planted a flip flop and a sock, and I said, as long as you don't find anything else, you're fine. There was a coloring book page, partially colored under there, that had like rat chewing. So I think that was probably brought under there from a mouse or a rat, as bedding or something. I don't know. It's been a while since a child has been in this house. Anyway, so there's your long answer to your simple question, Steve. But it's been interesting. It's been interesting, and it's been interesting learning the history of this place. A little more than what you see in the paperwork. Oh, so Tommy says, luckily I still have my pigeon free flying, so I get my pretty bird fix. Yep. All right, Erica's answering her puppy. Lucas is 7 months. He is doing great. He started his medical alert task training on Saturday. Awesome. Well, good. Tommy says, I think we are getting an African gray parrot by next spring as well. Ooh. Yeah, Tommy is the Birdman. Yeah, so Steve's going back to the canning. So they make a steamer pot you can use instead of a water bath canner. So I haven't personally used this. If you want to know more about that, a channel to sign up for would be Sutton's Days. She's more of a prepper than I am. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm prepared for things. I think there's a mindset, but if I have any, you're Greg? Oh my gosh. Hugs to you, Greg. Sorry, I just saw Greg's thing. Oh my goodness. Greg, I gotta call you. Well, we gotta talk. Awesome. Sorry, I haven't seen Greg in many, many years, and I did not know your name on there. Yeah, awesome. Okay, back to back to Steve's question or statement. So Sutton's Days is a really good channel for canning, and she pretty much bases her channel on canning and preserving, but really the preserving that she does is canning. That makes sense. And then stockpiling. So, but she has a water bath canner that's it's a steam canner. I think they're called steam canners. And they are, as I understand it, they are used exactly the same times as the um, water bath. So it's exactly the same time, but you use less water, which means it takes less electricity to heat up. They are electric. Are they all electric? I might be getting into unknown territory. I know there's electric versions, and I know there might be versions. I think there are versions that go on the stove. But yeah, so that does exist for water bath canning. Thank you for reminding me, Steve. Okay, so Dawn says, "Oh, I have the tongs and all the tools for pressure canning." Yeah, so you're set up pretty good for that. So if you are going to you can use a soup pot, a regular, soup pot. But you do want the jars to be off the bottom. So either you can tie together some rings and make yourself a little stand, or you can um, you can even just put a washcloth in there and that'll be good enough. But those are annoying. I will tell you, it's annoying to can with it's not annoying to can with a washcloth in there. It's the fact that when it's bubbling, it floats. And so putting things down appropriately so that you put things so there's no bubble. I don't know how to explain this without showing you. Try putting a washcloth in boiling water and see what happens. You'll know what I'm talking about. All right. Alicia says, I really miss my quail. I still have them, but I had surgery and I knew I wouldn't be able to lift enough to take their waters outside for a while. They had to go to freezer camp. Alicia, does it freeze where you are? I guess Tommy could answer the same question. I guess I'll ask Tommy. Tommy, my water setup that I had when I was in Gilroy, would that work for her where she is? I will put a link to that. Let's see. What did I call it? Is water something? Okay, here it is. So, Alicia, take a look at this. It's automatic water. And as long as it's not freezing when you're using it, it's an awesome thing, and you don't have to do anything as long as you can plug it into a tap that you can leave on. Then you don't have to worry your birds will never go out of water unless your tap goes out of water. So that's something I recommend everybody does. I will be doing that for my animals when it doesn't have potential to freeze. So that's something to look into as well. Right. So Verna's trying to clarify my my tomato comment. When you're looking at canning tomatoes is a weirdness. It used to always be, oh, just water bath can it. And the reason is it had enough acidity to be safe. The tomatoes we have now have been bred to be more tasty, i.e., sweeter. And so that is really, really it changes the acidity. So the sweetness goes up, it changes the acidity of the tomato. And so that's why they started having you add lemon juice or vinegar to the jars before you put it in. Now they're saying, well, the acidity is going so much more. I don't think it's into basic, but it's not as acidic as it used to be. So now they're saying pressure canning is more. They still have both options, so I don't think they know where they fall. But with pressure canning, you still add lemon juice, which is confusing to me. So, but yeah, tomatoes are funky that way. All right, and there's Greg. Hi, Greg. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we'll talk later. Dawn says I was looking into pigeons for white meat birds, but found out they don't reproduce fast enough or as much as quail. No, and they have a season, and I don't know, Tommy. You can correct me. Does that season? Can you amplify that season with light, or is it pretty much just that? Doves in general, like mourning doves and stuff like that, they can have more than one clutch in a season. In fact, they are very, very good at having clutches. They're not so bright about where they put their nests sometimes, but maybe that's why they have so many clutches. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Tommy says we are collecting Nesco pressure canners so we can do more and more each year. Is that the electric one? I don't know a Nesco pressure canner. This is just me. I would caution anybody using pressure canners that are electric. I won't use one for canning. You can use them for cooking. I'm fine with that. But personally, I won't use them for canning. Just think about the electronics and how many times you have to update things and how many times you have to update your phones. And I would worry that the calibration would be off. So just like I like other analog things, personally, I don't use them, and I'm not going to, not for canning. So there is my 2 cents worth. Okay, so Tommy's talking about Dawn not talking about Dawn, talking to Dawn about pigeons. For sure, they reproduce a lot during cooler season when you have them locked up, but if they are free to fly, it's slow. Okay. Thank you, Verna, for putting Brooke's channel up. So that's Brooke's channel. That's Callie Quail Keepers. She's really into doing shorter educational quail videos, and I know she's doing some other things as well. But I think right now she's keeping it mostly quail. Yeah. And Dawn says I won't rule out pigeons totally. Then I had a plan, but let someone convince me they wouldn't be productive because they only lay 2 eggs. They only lay 2 eggs at a time. That's true. Yeah. She's getting there, Steve. Yep, my Shire. Okay, Short Pickens Quail also, yes. Good people there. And Guidro's Family Farm. So my Shire, Short Pickens Quail and Guidro's are good MPIP sources for quail eggs. And I think Short Pickings has, do they sell buttons, or is that they're just doing special things? Yeah, let us know. Yeah. Okay. I am behind. Yeah, so you have to know what to do with them when they are to get them laying. Okay. You're using them for shade, Tommy. That's hilarious. Oh. Alicia says, "Oh man, we need to have ours leveled in the next 2 years. It's so expensive. It's highly expensive, much more expensive than I thought, and even more so because they had to get the dirt out, and it was so It was dry. That's the good news. It's dry underneath the house, but it was so dry they had to use. It has a different name, but it was like a mini like jackhammer, and they had to like get things out. And then of course they're handing 2 gallon buckets down the line to get it out. Yeah, yeah. All right. Um, shading with birds, huh? Oh my gosh. It's a lot of feathers. That's right. Okay. Uh, Tommy says the hawks love pestering them as well. They usually outfly the Coopers and redtails. Good. Good, good. JJ's here. Welcome, JJ. JJ saw the mess I made in the kitchen while making marshmallows. Yes, she did. All right. I hope you're doing well, JJ. Oh, I should show you guys what I got. Well, okay. I'll just tell you because I haven't even opened it yet. I got my mushroom plugs that I ordered from Territorial Seeds. So there's 2 different types. I don't remember what they are. One's oyster, one's something else. That go into wood. So like there's a dead oak branch. I think it's oak. I hope it's oak. That's where they're going down by in the pasture that I want to do with this. And you basically drill a hole, you put the plug in. I think they give you some wax to put over it or something to seal it. But I got those, and then I got another kind that you can grow, I guess, in like sawdust or something like that. I'm gonna try it in the pine mulch, but I don't know if that's gonna be right. So I might try putting it in a couple different places. So there you go. All right. Tommy only has pigeons. There are 30 pigeons. Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna block out the sun, you need more than 30. Oh my goodness. Too late to help him. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about helping Tommy with his pigeons. Yeah, that was so we're back. Boy, I am late. We're back to when I read the matchbook. Um it must have been Korean War. Well, no, it would have been after that. Or maybe. Yeah. Korean War or after. Yeah. Steve. Right. I think that's more likely, Verna. Vietnam War, as they didn't want a repeat of Korean War. That's probably more likely. Yeah. Oh, is Verna using is Verna using acronyms again? Verna, I think you do need to write a book about that. Long time no see. Got it. Um Holler Homestead uses Steam one. So lots of people they use it, and that 70s Homestead uses it, and Sutton's Days uses it. The steam canner is something that a lot of people are using. I'm not against the steam canner. It doesn't have to hold pressure; it has to hold steam. So yeah, um, it's the electric pressure ones that are iffy for me. Yeah, Sutton's Days has a lot of good canning stuff. I do have canning stuff. I haven't done any recently. I'm going to do bone broth. So hold on to your the bones of your Christmas dinner. Hold on to those, and I am going to do a video on that. I've done one before, but I'm going to do another one, and we're going to be talking about how to do that. I'll show you how to do it, and I'm actually going to can it. You have to use a pressure canner for that. Other options would be to freeze dry it, and another option would be to freeze it. So you don't have to have any special equipment. I'm going to show the easy way, which is special equipment. Using a pressure cooker, but you can also do it on the stove. So hold on to those bones, put them in the freezer, and we'll deal with them. All right. Um, no poop bombs yet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't wanna have them over your neighbors there. Okay, so there is one that goes on a gas um stovetop. Thank you, Steve. JJ says I had a flock that came every day and pooped on my car. I used hawk noises that reduced the flock to about 4. Oh my gosh. I had a survey I was doing. It was an early morning survey, it was a sunrise survey, so I had to be out there before sunrise. And I parked just, right outside the gates of this property. And when I got back, that's where the pigeons were sitting. I parked right underneath the power line or telephone line, and they were sitting on it. And yeah, they make big poops. Yep. Um, okay, so it freezes where she is, Tommy. Yeah, so if outside of winter, um, using automatic water is a really, really good idea. And you can click on that link. I'm going to be making it this. Uh, I left the other one for someone else at my old place, but I'm going to make them again here, and so I will be doing that and showing it in a little more smooth video, better camera, etc. It's a very long video, but it's a very detailed video, the one that I have out, and I like it detailed because it has some. Anybody can do it. Anybody can pick it up and do it. So yeah. Yep. All right. It works on birds in the attic. Yeah, people drive around and play hawk calls and stuff, or falcon. It's usually falcon calls that they do on construction sites to keep them from nesting on these big areas that are, high towers and stuff. Okay. Okay, so the automatic water will work most of the time. Yeah. Yeah, I'd do it then. Okay. And JJ says you were looking for pigeons for white meat. Rabbits, JJ. Bunny bun buns. There's where your white meat is. Um, yeah, check that out, Alicia, and hopefully, yeah. She says I have a little plastic plate that goes under the heater to keep them defrosted. Got off Amazon. Yeah, so I have like my chicken waterer it plugs in, um, but that's only if you have electricity, right? So if you don't have electricity, then that's going to be a problem in winter. So and as electricity goes out, so yeah, yeah. So JJ says put lemon juice and salt and canned tomatoes. Yeah, and dove's nuts are badly aged. Yep, yep, yep. Hi, Adam. Welcome, welcome. Hello, all. A little late, but here. All right, I'm going to ask this question while I continue to read people's comments. So the question of the day was to talk about challenges. Um, there are a lot of challenges that can come in homesteading, and one of the things I can think of, besides Mr. Ringo being in my face all the time and his butt being in my face all the time, Mr. Ringo's a cat. He punctured me the other day. I picked him up just to pick him up, and he wanted to go all the way up, and his claw actually punctured me, and I actually had like a bruise here. So anyway, besides that, challenges here that I am seeing is the challenge of winter, so things freezing. So that's my challenge. My other challenge is flat land, so I need to figure out how I can um, produce some more flat land because I do have mostly hills. So those are my two challenges. Want you guys to kind of come up with some challenges that you've either currently have that we need to look at solutions for, or if you had a challenge, let us know what the challenge was and what you did to fix it. So one of the challenges I was having at my old place was the water and feed I have the automatic water that other people have done it, but I mean, I came up with what I came up with. And then I also came up with, you go back and find it. So I call this the ultimate no waste quail feeder. And quail feeder. Here's a link for that. I was going to make something like this for the chickens, but decided against it because chickens have combs. And after Rexy hurt hers, I decided I didn't want her to put her head all the way inside something. And maybe it would be safe and all that, but I don't need to where I am because their coop is so big. I may decide to change that later, but I have the design already with quail, and it would work just fine with chickens as long as their comb doesn't get caught somewhere in there. So I just had a minor concern. Okay. Nesco electric canner. Okay. Just know what you're getting into. I don't know how they test those. I know like the pressure canners that aren't weight. I like a weight gauge pressure canner because if you know your elevation, that's not likely to change very much. And you know your food that you're making, you know what weight to have on it, and that weight is not going to change. So if you know those two things, that weight's not going to change. Whereas the ones that have a dial gauge, you're actually supposed to get those tested and recalibrated every year. So I don't know how you would recalibrate an electric one. That would be tough. So just know what you're getting into, either accept it or don't. And I just want everybody to be informed and make their own decisions. All right. Rhoda says, I had mourning doves build a nest on my upstairs windowsill about 30 years ago. We got to watch those doves raise their young. That is so awesome. I had a Phoebe do their nest on the drain pipe, which is right outside my bedroom window in Gilroy. That was really cool. That was many years ago. Yeah. Yeah, Christina just started using the electric canner, and they do live Saturday evenings. Yes, they do. Thank you for the link. And yeah, Nikki does have buttons. I didn't know if she was selling them or if she was. I just saw some like gifty type things that she was doing. So, yeah, awesome. Yeah. So I won't have electric canners on my channel. If you want to learn about those, the pressure canners, then electric water bath canners, they have those as well. Those are fine. But the electric pressure canners, I won't have here. Dawn says, "Oh, I hate making bone broth. I had to make it with a pressure cooker every single week for 5 years. I never died and make it again. It's not a hard thing to do. It's not a hard thing to do. It's quite easy, especially if you have a pressure cooker. If you don't have a pressure cooker and you do it on the stove, then it takes like 24, 48 hours. You can also make it in a one of those with big roasters, big electric roasters. Yeah. All right. Steve's going to freeze dry bone broth in molds and make my own bologna cubes. That sounds good. Sounds good. It definitely powders down into Steve, I would say that sounds good. Have you done that before? Because unless you boil out a lot of the water, it's going to be very fluffy, and I'm not sure how much that would actually do bouillon cube wise. I think a good idea. I mean, I have it as a powder, so I put it through the blender after and have it as a powder, and that works well because you can actually measure that. But I'm not sure how. If you do it, let us know how it turns out. I guess that's what I would say, and how big your cubes are. Yeah. Okay, and Verna's saying to cook it down first. Yeah. Yeah, Verna, I did put the was it Neosporin? I did put the Neosporin. I washed really well and Neosporin. So here you go. JJ says terrace the hills, water from the top. I like the weight. I like the jiggler, the weight for the canning. Yeah, so I just have to know what that all entails as far as rules. And I know at least with water that is a sensitive topic in this area. Pretty much everything else isn't, it seems like, but water definitely is. So I want to make sure I'm doing things right. But yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Dawn says it took 3 hours of my life every week, and then I had to drink it, and it got old. Well, you don't. If you have it in an electric pressure cooker to make bone broth, you don't have to be in the same room. You can just, you know, leave it be. So there you go. Yeah. So Verna, I know you freeze dried bone broth. Have you freeze dried it in cubes? That's what I'm curious about. Like, because every bone broth I make, it seems like there's a different actual density of material versus water. Um, and I think you'll probably understand what I mean by that. Someone who doesn't freeze dry might not know, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, yep. Um, Adam's asking, do you have access to a tractor with a bucket or dozer? Regrading your land would make life easier to grow on. So that's what I'm talking about is the regrading, and I don't know what the rules are yet, and I haven't talked to people. But also felling trees and stuff like that. So I want to make sure I want to make sure I'm doing it in a place I can get water to. So like it's not just about flattening some areas because that is what I'm talking about. But it's also talking about flattening some areas or that has access to water. So there's a lot of background stuff going on with this. So yeah. I don't have a tractor personally, but I have neighbors that do. Yeah. Terrorist person then apologize later. I don't think so, JJ. I want to make sure I know the rules, especially since I'm on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so Verna's saying for as far as make freeze drying into bouillon cubes, it should work if he cooked it down to almost a syrup. So in my opinion, that might not be favorable, but yeah, Steve, try it and see what you think. See what you think. Because that's going to take a lot of boiling if you cook it that thick. Yeah. Nobody has challenges to talk about. Oh man, I caught up and nobody has any challenges. All right. My challenges, I guess my other challenges is knowing what the rules are for things. And I just need to reach out. And I've reached out to certain people and I have other certain people I need to reach out to. And it just takes time. And I just figured, I'm not going to call anybody for like 2 weeks because everybody's going to be on vacation anyway. But things are progressing well, I guess. So yeah, the house is almost leveled. That'll probably be done, probably not this week, probably next week. And then there's more work to be done. And yeah, after that is done, the windows can go in. I have part of the house TSP cleaned, the walls and the ceiling. So part of the house is ready for primer and paint. Other parts of the house are not. That's the thing about living in the house is doing it at the same time is challenging. At my old place, I was still living with my grandma while I was coming and visiting my house and doing all these things. So there wasn't anything in it. So that made things easier. So Yeah. Dawn says I have big challenges, but not what this channel is about. Is life functions I have to achieve. Yep. Yep. But you are doing really well. Doing really well. Yeah. Um, Erica says low points in the yard that have become flooded and boggy when it rains. So do you have an area that you can pull dirt from and put there and make into a better thing, or do you want to put some pond liner in and make it a pond? Um, yeah, Steve says, please tell me they put in new footers and for the leveling and not going back to rocks and firewood. Yeah, they're doing things appropriately. They're doing things appropriately. But it was kind of funny to find that out and know that, and then with the added history that this house is older than people even thought. Um, yeah, yeah. All right. Verna says my challenge is still going on. Have to figure out where I can put everything. Exactly. Exactly. I feel like I'm in flux right now too because again, I don't really want to put things away and put things, where they need to be until at least until the carpet's in because you have to move everything to get carpet in. And that's not going to happen until the walls are painted and and blah 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 blah. Plus I got to find a carpet. The things I like are no longer in style. Another challenge. Um, Erica's challenge is keeping the goats in the yard. Oh no. What is your usual answer to that? Do you use electric fencing or do you use yeah, what kind of fencing do you use? Because Erica, I'm looking at goats maybe in the spring. I'm hoping in the spring. I don't know that I'll be ready for them, but we'll see. Yeah, let me know what your current fencing is that they're getting out of. Dawn says summer comes and gardening time comes. I'll have those and then birds and rabbits and about time of QuailCon. Awesome. 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 JJ says my challenge is to move, but not affordable. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, Verna's looking for a better place as well. Yeah. Alicia says my current uh, life challenge is cleaning and decluttering the house after surgery. My den became the catch-all for most of the house, and I need it cleaned out before breeding quail. Yeah, yeah. Well, good luck with that, and hopefully you can organize things and get rid of things you don't need, and maybe hopefully have someone help you with that. Yeah, good luck. JJ says, or I should just get chickens and apologize later. You could get fancy chickens and call them jungle fowl. I've seen people do that to get around HOAs. I'm not suggesting that you do that, but I have seen people do that. Erica says, I'm going to dig a trench for an artificial creek for drainage. There you go. There you go. I know someone that used river rock and made like one of those fancy looking, fake creeks, but then they shellacked it. So it looked wet all the time. Rocks are always prettier in when they're wet. So yeah. Dawn says the powder bone broth, not cubed, that you measure out of jars. I bought it instead of peeling cubes. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Oh, Steve's been relocating and transient for 2 years now. Goodness, Steve, you gotta put down roots. You have lots of roots. Okay, Erica says we are putting in horse fencing. Okay. Hopefully that also acts as goat fencing. Dawn says my challenge right now is to go work out for an hour. Everyone have a good night and Merry Christmas. Dawn, thank you for joining us and good luck with your PT. And you are doing fabulous with your recovery for sure. For sure. Yeah. Everybody's saying good night. Yes, JJ, jungle fowl. The codes call them fowl. the only reason I get away with quail, but I'm going to look into it. So chickens originated as a jungle fowl. I mean, that's what they are. They're jungle birds. I mean, you might be surprised because there's so many predators in the jungle, right? But that's where they came from. They're ground dwelling birds, much like turkeys, I guess, smaller and definitely smaller than native ones. But yeah, if you get fancy looking ones and call them jungle fowl, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Oh, okay. Erica says Andy got me 2 rolls of fencing for Christmas. That is an expensive gift. Good. I need to think about fencing for my stuff that I don't know where I'm fencing it yet. The fencing for the pasture and the hayfield it's in good shape. There's some areas that it's kind of pressed down for the elk to go over, the deer to go over and stuff, but it's in general, it's in pretty good shape. I do need to put some fencing up where the leach field is. I was going to wait until they are done putting stuff together. They haven't put in the pump yet because they're like, well, we need to put the machine there when it's not squishy. It's been raining so long. So I figure, you know what? It's been doing what it's doing for many, many years. And a little while later, it's not going to hurt any. Yeah. Yeah, Steve. Dawn is outworking you. Yep. Yep. Chickens are from jungle fowl. They're also dinosaurs. So, I mean, JJ it's just word choice. I'm not saying it's going to work, but there you go. Erica says, we built a small pen with the horse fencing and it's holding them. I need to know what horse fencing is. Is that an actual thing? I've seen the no climb fencing. It's like 2x4 or something. Yeah. Oh, JJ got mud boots for Christmas. Yay! Always handy. Alicia says, I've got to get more fencing to expand the garden. Me too. Me too. I have a couple Labradors and one is a digger. So a key for keeping digging animals out of your garden is to not only put the fencing down into the ground a little bit, but also to lay it a little bit on the like horizontal on the outside, so that if they dig, they dig into, oh, there's fencing here. This isn't going anywhere, and it can work. I've seen it work with people doing that around chicken tractors where the animals were digging under to get in. I don't know that it'll work everywhere, but it's an option to try. Yes, tell them they are dinosaurs. Adam says, so your leach fields won't be done until late May when the rainy season's over. Welcome to Southern Oregon. The leach field is done. It's just not connected to anything. Yeah, the leach field is done. But they are also digging a trench for a water line, an electric line. They're not connected in anything right now, but for future, that's just the conduit. And since he was out there anyway digging, so he was going to finish that up when he came back to do this, and that was going to be like in a couple weeks, and then it's just kept raining. So yeah, yep. Verna says I got dinner from both families for Christmas, a space heater from my daughter, a pair of lamps, a plant, and light bulbs for my other kids. Awesome. Are they special light bulbs? Or just light bulbs? But that's good. It's good getting together. Yeah. I got together with my parents for Thanksgiving and decided I'm not going to go over the pass. There's no point right now. Like, we can see each other when it's not life-threatening conditions on the road. We'll see what happens over the pass over the next days. Oh, light bulbs for the new lamps. Got it. Got it. I was wondering if this was going to be like, Oh, I forgot to give you a lift, a gift. Let me go see what's in my house. One time, I went to a white elephant gift party. It was basically a get rid of junk party. It was something that's in your house that you want to get rid of. That's what the guidelines were. I brought a dead plant, but I felt bad just having a dead plant. So it came with a bag of homemade cookies. But the very first person to open it, so some kids were at this party too. And there's like this 4-year-old kid, or I don't know, ages of kids escapes me. But he picked the biggest present because he's a little kid. He's going to pick the biggest present. When he picked the biggest present, he opened it up. Some people here will know what it is. Some people won't. It was a dot printer. You know, the little holes on the side. And he loved it. He had no clue what it was, but he loved it. And those poor parents had to take that thing home. Nobody else stole it from them. Yeah. There you go. Rita says each lamp has a place to charge your phone. That is a handy thing. Handy, handy. And it also sounds like a hotel lamp. But hey, we all need more chargers, right? I'm realizing that I only have knowledge of where one phone charger is here in the house. There's one that's in the car that just, plugs into the thing in the car. But yeah, USB ports. Yep. But I'm finding that I'm like, oh yeah, I think I only have one that I move from room to room. So I'll have to get more. And it's so weird. Like this one works really well, so other ones don't. Very weird. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to do a reminder if someone's looking for a gift that I haven't given yet. Let's see. And if you would want to maybe gift yourself too, you can join Katrina's Kits. It is a monthly fee, but it is also a monthly Cook With Me Live. That's when we made the marshmallows. In November, we made a pumpkin soup and pumpkin pie from scratch. We've made all sorts of different, things, meals, desserts, breakfasts. We made bear claws. If you want a good recipe for Christmas morning, you can join that, because if you join, you can watch any of the previous videos. There is a hidden and secret playlist on my YouTube channel that if you are a member, you can see. And if you're not, you don't see it. You don't even know it's there except for me telling you. And you can go back and watch those and cook along with me, even though I'm not there, and along with other people who were on it as well. So highly recommend bear claws. I might have to make some. Anyway, so that is there. Hopefully people join, or take a look at it and maybe sign up as a couple and do a cooking thing every month. And you can do it live, you can do it after the fact, but it's always fun, always a good time. And we spend, sometimes we spend quite a bit of time. I think it's, I don't remember if it's $3.99 or $4.99 a month for the lower tier. There's 3 tiers. You get the same thing at this point. It's just whatever you would like to support me monetarily. So I do reserve the right to add things to the higher tiers as time goes on, but yeah, but that is a good thing. And Erica and JJ are both Katrina's Kits, both members. Erica's saying, what are we going to make next? I want to do food, because we did dessert last time and we did food and dessert the time before that. And I don't know yet. I'm thinking about something with rabbit. And if you don't have rabbit, chicken is substitutable for in those recipes, but I'm thinking about something with rabbit. So I've been thinking about a recipe that I can do with that. So it would be a rabbit/chicken recipe that I am thinking about, but I don't know what it is yet. So we can do suggestions and we can see what happens. But I want to do something fun. For Valentine's Day, February, I'm thinking I want to do cheesecake because I haven't made one in a while. Ooh, lasagna. Ooh, ooh. But Erica, I don't have eggs right now. We can do lasagna. JJ, do you vote for the lasagna? See what we have. I have canned tomatoes this year. It didn't last year, the year before. Let's do lasagna. Okay, see how that works, guys? Democratic process. I maybe won't do rabbit then because I really like the Italian sausage with that. Or maybe do both. That'd be interesting. All right, we will do that. We're gonna figure out a date. Erica, JJ, and any other Katrina's Kits that watches later, send me dates that don't work for you. We do these on the weekend. It'll be a one day. We've been doing 2 days in a row. It'll be a one day on the weekend. Yeah. JJ says, I'm finishing up my last Christmas gift. I did mostly paintings. Awesome. Good way to get rid of extra paper and paint. Awesome. JJ or Rena says, I gave Darian acrylic paint for Christmas as one of the gifts. Awesome. JJ says, I don't know what rabbit tastes like. Wasn't included in the rabbit tasting. Rabbit tastes like rabbit. You could trick someone into thinking it was chicken. If you had a dish and it had, sauce on it and stuff, you could just serve it to them and they would think it was chicken. I think that would be wrong. I think people should always know what they're eating. But it's good. It's good stuff. It's very healthy for you and tastes good. It does have a different flavor, but it's similar enough that any recipe for rabbit and chicken would be interchangeable. Or biryani? What? I don't know what that is. Biriani. What is that? All right, we will look at that later. I'm kind of thinking lasagna is good because I was thinking about making that like a week ago and I didn't. Yeah. Okay, JJ says, where do I get recipe ingredients? So when we do this, the Cook With Me Live, what I will do is I send out on my channel, there's the posts. It sometimes says posts, sometimes it says community, but it'll pop up and it'll say that it'll have all the ingredients so anybody can see that and then they can choose to join us or not. But I also always post it in the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group. And so I'll put that link up again for those that aren't signed up for that. And again, it is Facebook, but there you go. So that's where it's going to be. And then, yeah, if you're not finding it, JJ, just message me. All right. What rabbit test? She was joking, Verna. Yeah, it was cooey, not rabbit. And cooey is the same as guinea pig. Yeah, it's the same as guinea pig, not rat, not rabbit, not hamster. Oh my goodness. Erica says we are going to be putting some goats in the freezer next weekend. I'll have goat for lasagna. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. I don't even know where I would get goat meat from unless it was from a person here. I have not discovered any ethnic markets yet. They may exist. I have not discovered them. I have not discovered them. And I know when I went for What was it supposed to be? That one recipe that we made? Was it mutton that it was supposed to be? And I think I got goat. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Um, it's not like a big hamster, Steve. Everyone is forgiven, JJ says. Well, thank you. Thank you for your forgiveness. Adam says, I'm so bad about keeping up with Facebook. That is okay. So I put it on YouTube, on the community post, and it should come up in your feed if you're subscribed and you have your notification bell on. So I don't think it notifies you for comments, but it does come up, if you're subscribed. Yeah. Yeah. Verna says, I want goat meat too. I don't know. It wasn't lamb. It wasn't lamb. It was at a Mexican restaurant, not restaurant. It was a Mexican grocery store, and I think it was goat and not mutton. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Adam is telling me Winco sells goat meat. Yeah, there is one there. I haven't been in there yet. I don't even know what it is. Is it like a Costco? Like what's a Winco? I can look it up. I can look it up. Mm. Well, there you go. JJ says upcycling frames for the paintings. That sounds good. It's a grocery store. Okay. Yeah, I haven't. It's funny that the closest like real town to me that Adam's talking about is it's kind of weird because it has like everything. And it's a larger population, but it's not as large a population as you think it would be if you just read out what the stores were. It needs a Best Buy. But other than that, it pretty much has everything. And I think it's because there's so many small towns in the area that it services that it has to have those things. So yeah, I'll have to go in there one of these times and see what's what there. Um, yeah, I definitely haven't explored. I do know whenever I go to town, it's expensive because when you go into town, you go and you're like, oh, here's my list. I need to go to these places. If my vehicle's not filled up, I'm not done. Not always true, but sometimes it is. Yeah. So yeah. Um, okay. So Katrina's kits for the Cook With Me Live in January. Let's do lasagna. I have a really good lasagna recipe. Um, trying to think if there's anything special. I think ricotta. You can use cottage cheese, but ricotta really is better. Ricotta and um, Italian sausage are the two special ingredients. Yeah. I know. I know. I got to go an hour away for Best Buy. And the thing is, you can't call them anymore because it always goes to whatever country is answering these days. Um, they have a call situation where you can't actually get to the store. I think I need to get someone's extension down there to make these questions because I got where I am. So I'm an hour away from Best Buy. I got from Best Buy. I got a washer and dryer before I even came up here. Like I picked it out. I paid for it. I said, okay, can I hold it until I get up there and do all this? And they said yes. And so I did that, and it it took them forever because they had to deliver on a Friday, and their truck couldn't be full on that Friday, and they only go up north on Fridays. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I was trying to call them about last time was why it was taking so long, because I had ordered it and they told me it was going to be in the warehouse. Turns out that was not the case. It had not been manufactured yet. So I was washing clothes in the bathtub for about a month. Yeah, I wasn't happy, but it's kind of the beginning of understanding I'm in no man's land. Yeah, which is okay. Erica says I can't get goat or rabbit at any store around here, yet everyone carries alligator. Oh my gosh, Erica, that is different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. JJ says, "Ooh, love Italian sausage." I haven't had Italian sausage in a long time. So the recipe I make for lasagna is really good, but I always add, I like double the Italian sausage because it never goes as far as I want it to. Personal preference. I really need to find my glass baking dishes. I know they're here somewhere. I hope they are, at least. Yeah. Yeah, Bernie, you can order stuff online for Best Buy, but if you need to like talk to someone, like I was trying to reach out and see where my stuff was, you can't talk to that place. So, yeah. You don't need to try rattlesnake meat. There's no reason, absolutely no reason to kill a rattlesnake. My personal opinion. Um, Adam says my son's friend works for the Best Buy down here. Ooh, connections, Adam. Hopefully, I won't need it very often, but you know, I every once in a while you need that. It's kind of the only store around that does have that kind of thing and does have somewhat of a tech support. Like if you buy something from them, they'll do stuff, but I don't like scheduling something over the phone with someone that's not going to do the work. It's the same thing as going to a dealership to have them work on your car. I hate doing that because I'm not talking to the person that's actually doing the work, and it always gets messed up. So, yeah, that's my preferences. Hmm. Well, I appreciate that, Adam. Yeah, that would be good. So, yeah. All right. So, did we solve the problems of the world or challenges? One of my challenges in general here is actually, how do I say this? Distance to reliable sources of things. That's how I say it. That's how I say it. Hey Ed, Ed's coming in strong. Hi all, and yes, rattlesnake tastes good. Ed, how are you doing, and how is Wendy doing? I hope you guys are both doing very well, and I hope you are loving your new deck and ramp. Yeah, I really hope Wendy's doing really well. Yeah, I'm waiting for your answer. No, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, challenges here is distance. So you do have to have, when you go and buy something, you buy two, right? I've kind of always had that mentality. And I think mostly from a budget standpoint, growing up, we had a pantry, but like my parents didn't stock tons of stuff or anything like that. But, in the winter, if you don't have to drive, why would you? Um, and we always had food in the pantry. And this is actually the first house I've had since growing up that actually had a pantry. When I was in Gilroy, I basically had shelves in the kitchen, I had shelves in the bedroom, I had stuff in the closet, I had stuff in the living room, and it was a little chaotic, and I didn't always know what I had. But I still need to organize that, and I still need to put some supports for the shelves that currently have things on them that it probably should do that soon. But yeah, if you have those places to hold things and you have those that mindset that, oh, well, I'm going to the hardware store and I don't want to have to come back for this project. What else do I need? Oh, and what else do we need for the next 5 projects? And you'll still forget something, but you'll still be good. You know, you're going to be better to get extra tools and extra parts and pieces and, you know, screws. And I mean, when I was at the co-op, I'm like, do I have enough deck screws? I think I used a bunch of them before I came here. I'm just getting 3 different sizes of deck screws. And then when I checked out, I'm like, why is it so expensive? I'm like, oh yeah, I got deck screws for no reason. Yeah. I mean, for future reasons, but I was there, I saw it, and I'm like, I don't think I have enough of these. Or I think I think I had like the 3-inch ones and the 4-inch ones, but I was like, I don't think I have the smaller ones. And I have some projects in mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that. So that's another challenge, is thinking about what you need when you go to town and hoping you get all of it. In fact, I saw on the local Facebook group, there was somebody that said, I forgot to get this at the store. Is anybody in town right now? And someone was there and was able to pick up something from her. Didn't know the person, I don't think. Didn't look like they knew the person. But you know, help each other out that way. So that's good. Yeah. All right. Steve's opinion differs from mine. Everyone should eat rattlesnake. We have way too many down there. You know what you probably have very little of is mice and rats, right? They do good things. Ed says, I'm doing good. She's getting better. The really bad pain has stopped. Swelling is almost gone, except in one place. Good. That was really scary, and I'm glad that she's doing better, and I hope she continues to go better. Go better? To do better? I can't talk. Yeah. Yeah. I really hope so. Man, we're getting a pouring down rain right now. With the metal roof, I thought I'd hear it more, but I really don't hear it much different. Like, I know it doesn't sound like tin on a roof. But it's pouring right now. I can hear the rain. I have to tell you guys, was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday. Um, I I went out the front door to go feed everybody and well, feed the cats and to check and to give more water for the bunnies. When rabbits are uh, giving their babies milk when they're nursing, they go through water quite a bit. But so I do in the morning and the evening for her, make sure she has what she needs. Because Rigatoni's only one of the babies right now. But when I went out, so there's the door, which was locked, and then you unlock the door, you open the door, and then there's like a screen door. It's like halfway solid, halfway screen. And usually you just push it because the people who were here before, they broke off the latch part so that they attached like a tug rope for a dog onto it, so the dogs in the summertime could just open the door and come in. It's pretty smart. And I haven't changed anything yet. And I pushed on it and it opened like this much. And I was like, what's going on? And the wind had totally picked up at 3 o'clock that morning, like woke me up, woke up a lot of other people. I heard from another person in the area, it blew open their front door. It was, I don't know what the wind gusts were, but they were very gusty and demanding. And what had happened is I have outdoor blinds with a little pole cord thing that had gotten wrapped around the dog, the dog rope that was attached to the door got wrapped around it. So I had to like push it open and reach around and like unwrap it to get out the house. Oh, great. This is how I lock myself in my house. So there you go. Brenna's saying here. You saying be prepared, get double? Yep. All right. It says she can start putting a tiny bit of weight on her leg next Monday. Awesome. Awesome. I hope they got all the infection and yuckiness and that she is on a healing trend that does not have to be interrupted. Yeah. Adam says, "Oh yeah, you definitely got rattlers back there. We do as well here in Southern Oregon." Yeah, I haven't. I've only been here since August, and I have not seen any. Make sure this is a true statement. I haven't seen any snakes. Um, I don't think I've seen any lizards. I still haven't seen salamanders, which there should be lots of salamanders here. I've seen Pacific tree frogs. That's what I've seen. But any of the other herpetofauna I haven't seen yet. So I know they're out there. Yeah. Ed says, "Dang, jealous about the rain." It's picking up. We're supposed to get like up to 2 inches overnight. So that's quite a bit. And we've been getting rain. So yeah. Oh, Adam, you don't have rain yet? So the rain is coming. You're south of me, right? The rain is coming out from the Pacific, and it's actually curving up. So you might be on the tail end of that system because I think I'm on the middle of the edge. I think you're south of me, right? That's a really big bruise. It's not. You want to see it? You see my nastiness? Yeah, it is a big bruise. That's from Mr. Ringo. He was climbing. So it's good though. It's not, it doesn't look infected. It's just a stab wound from a cat. My goodness. Um, Verta says there are plenty of rattlers in Arkansas when I was there. Ooh, yeah, I don't want to deal with those, Erica. She says we had a lot of cottonmouth this year. Don't want to deal with those. Yes, this is a band-aid. This, you thought this was the bruise? No, 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 no. I'm just white. Yeah. Um, Ed is asking, did you get the drainage fixed on the side of your house? Partially. So there is, I put in a drain pipe that directs everything that comes off the roof to the back of the house, which is really the majority of the whole roof, goes into one drain pipe or one downspout, which then goes into 4-inch drain pipe. And I do have that going, so it goes to the culvert that goes to the ditch by the house, or by the street. So that's going. There's another 2 downspouts that are directed the same way, same location. And then there is still a puddle where that puddle was forming. The person with the downspouts, he's going to come back and put in the leaf, what are they called? Leaf guards. I have a big leaf maple that those little helicopter seeds, which are edible, you open them up and there's a little nut in there and they're edible. They are just plugging things up so quickly. So I do want to get the leaf guards. But when he comes in for that, he's also going to cut the downspout a little higher up and put an angled downspout so it goes to the corner. So it's a little bit more contained at that point, and then into the drain pipe. So there's still a puddle there. The person who did the what's it called? The leach field. He has to come back to to put in the pump, dig a big hole and put it in the pump and connect everything up. And he said he offered to help me with, whatever I needed help with digging or whatever. And I mean, him and his worker were the ones that were nice enough to help me kind of level and move the rabbit hutches after the person I had to deal with that paid way too much money for, didn't finish. So they actually helped me move that with no charge, just helping out. But I asked him if he would give me, he hadn't given me a price yet, but he said he can help and do the French drain around from the back of the house. So that's going to be happening. I've been keeping an eye on it when it goes heavy, and it hasn't gotten to the point where it's going underneath the pantry, which is what it was trying to do before I put the drain pipe on. So the drain pipe, I think, really, really super helped that. And the puddle, I'm not sure how much of that is coming off of the hill slope right behind it, and how much of that is potentially water coming from below. So around the side of the shed on the roadway, you guys have seen it, you just don't know where it is. There's water coming out of the ground. Right where the road going up the hill is, there's water coming out of the ground. So I don't know if it is because it dries up, so it dries down. That puddle dries, and so I don't know if it's just raising and then it has to move through the earth enough to settle that. I do know under the front part of the house, I'll give you guys way too much information. Front part of the house is super, super dry. Back part of the house, these guys aren't going to, and I don't think anybody fits under there right now. But that's the question I have. But either way, a French drain should alleviate that issue, because as long as it has the right angle, it will angle that surface part at least to the street, or to the ditch by the street. So there's your long answer. Yeah, French drain. That's exactly what it is. Oh, you're way south. Okay, Adam. Yeah, cool. Um, Verna loves king snakes. I like snakes in general. I always have. I was the little kid bringing snakes to my mom, who's deathly afraid of them. Um, I had some pet snakes at one point, but yeah, I like snakes. Don't bite me, but I like snakes. Erica says we have all of them around here too. It was just that we had an unusual number of cottonmouth. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. So the hillside pushes water to the house, and I don't know how much is actually off of it versus it may be water coming up. So I don't know. But the French drain is the answer either way, I think. Oh no. Steve says the cottonmouth likes to try to climb in the rowboat when we go fishing. You know, I used to help someone trap turtles in, I think it was in Iowa, uh, for research. And we would hang chicken legs and chicken gizzards in the trap, so it was in the water. And there was one time we got to the trap, and there was a copperhead that had eaten his belly full, nice and fat on one side, and it was trying to go through what's it called? Trying to go through the netting part of it, and he was stuck. He was not going that way. He needed to turn around and go the other way. And the person I was with got it out. But yeah, um, that was not something I wanted to deal with. Erica says, I saw a beautiful king snake this summer, as well as a couple big black snakes. Awesome. No, no, no. We don't need to go shooting snakes. Yeah, so king snakes eat snakes. They can be poisonous or not, but yeah, they eat snakes. King snakes you always want to keep around. Um, they eat other things too, but yeah. More shooting than fishing sometimes? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. You were that little kid too, Verna? Yeah, I was a tomboy, for sure. I would say I still am. Erica says Landon got a ball python for Christmas this year. Ooh. So those do last a very long time. And so I hope he's prepared to have a friend forever. I have a friend who rescues pythons, boas, pythons, big snakes. I think she does more than one type, but she does rescues where people get them, when they're this big and they don't realize that, they're going to grow up to be really, really big. And so a lot of people get rid of them. And it's unfortunate because those snakes, if treated well and appropriately like a pet, they are a pet. They have personalities. They have, all that. Like she'll let her own personal snakes. So she takes care of the rescues and all that. Oftentimes they aren't socialized appropriately and stuff like that. But her own snakes that she, had forever, she has them. And she lets them out to roam the house for a little bit, and they'll actually end up cuddling on her lap. Like they'll find her and then they'll cuddle on her lap and be like, "Okay, I'm good." And so that you can have a relationship with, just like you would a dog or a cat, you can have a relationship with a pet snake. So again, wildlife biologist. Yeah. um Alicia says, I always worry about snakes and gar when I go kayak fishing. Now gar have teeth. Gar is a type of fish with, I don't know, it looks like they've bred a fish and an alligator together, right? So the gar don't bother you? I don't know if they actually bite people or not. I just know they definitely have teeth. Yep. Adam says French drains, live roots, and mulch will be your best friends during winter here. Yeah, I need to look into getting a chipper, like a real chipper. I have one for like 1-inch things. That was my city chipper. I need a country chipper. And I know they make them, to go behind tractors and stuff, and I don't really think I need a tractor specifically right now. But I don't know what my choices are for that. But I definitely want a good sized chipper so I can actually chip a lot of the stuff. Because you guys know me, especially if you've known me from Gilroy, I love wood chips. They do really good things. Um, Alicia says, I just don't want to have to get them off a hook in a small boat. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You carry massive pair of needle nose pliers just in case. Yeah, I mean, they might bite you then. That's true, huh? Oh, she says they catch them with a net, never on a pole. Okay, okay. And JJ's chiming in. So they're spooky looking, but usually not hurt people. All right. Ooh, Alicia had a close call with one. Yeah, I did my undergraduate degree in Iowa, and so I know a lot of the Midwestern biology as well. So yeah, you said gar, and it took me just a split second to remember. Oh yeah, that's a fish. Um, yeah, there's some interesting fish out there. There's interesting fish out here. I'm not a fish person. I don't like to taste them. Uh, I don't find them as interesting as other people biologically, but they can be very interesting. So yeah, but leave that to other people. That's why we have our own specialties, right? Yeah. Rennis's alligator gar are the worst. Um, I mean, it's kind of like snapping turtles and alligator snapping turtles, right? There's a degree. There's a degree there. Yeah. Yeah, we luckily didn't get any alligator snapping turtles. We just caught snapping turtles, um, which in and of themselves are if you don't know how to handle them, they're quite dangerous. Yeah, and they say there's 7 different types of meat on a turtle, and I've had it where people fed them out like with grain, with corn, and I did not enjoy whatever 1 or 2 of the 7 types of meat on a turtle I had from that. But some people like it. Verna likes it. Yeah. Um, Alicia says, "Oh God, caught alligator snapping turtles too." Another reason for those pliers. You know, they have been released in places. There's a place in the Bay Area I know in California that I know. I know rumor of one that people I trust have seen, as people would not expect that. Yeah. Yep. Alicia says I caught one that was easily over 100 pounds at least. I was on land at the time. It was easy to release. Good. Good. Yeah. Not good. Oh, Ed says gar doesn't taste bad, but never eat the eggs. They are poisonous. What about them are poisonous? I don't know much about that kind of stuff because I, I don't eat fish. I'm curious about that. What about them are poisonous? Maybe I'll look it up. Let's see. Gar eggs poisonous. It came up autofilled. Poisonous to humans, birds, and other mammals. Birds is not a mammal. AI Google. English is important. Sorry, the new AI that Google is using is not as intelligent as the old non-AI. They contain a protein toxin called ichthyotoxin. That makes sense for those that don't know. Ich, is it means fish. It just fish toxin. Okay. Which is toxic to humans. Cannot be destroyed by cooking. Okay. Yeah, they have symptoms and I don't need to read them. Interesting. Yep. Oh, they're green? No, well, green eggs and ham, right? I mean, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize, Steve. Why did she look it up while I'm sitting right here? Garias contain ichthyotoxin, a protein that's highly toxic to humans, birds, and other warm-blooded animals. Oh, you got the warm-blooded animals. Did you know birds don't necessarily classify as that? I know Google's not helpful in this. Oh, by the way, Steve, that light that I showed you last week on my oven, it's off now. It works again. I don't know why. Oh boy. Erica says, gotta get up at 5 tomorrow, so it's bedtime for me. Good night, everyone. Good night, Erica. Remember to message me days you are not available next month. Have a wonderful night. All right. Um, yeah. Man, we went all over the place today. We got through our challenges. We got all sorts of stuff. Dirty contact. Did you slam the oven door and shake the stove? I did not, but people lifted the house since then. So maybe that's what happened. How did it get dirty? It's inside. No, I didn't slam anything. Okay. Adam says, gotta get you on the river catching steelhead or coho salmon. I don't eat store-bought fish, but I can't get enough of freshly caught. I'm not a fish person at all. You know, we caught trout growing up too, and that's like not a fishy fish. And no, thank you. It breaded is good, but I mean it's the breading that you like. It's not the fish. Like the fish part of the breaded fish wasn't good. Yeah. Um Apparently there are, I think, I don't remember. Sam, was it steelhead? There's some sort of fancy fish in the creek right here. Steve says store fish and freshly caught fish taste nothing like each other. And you have to be careful where you get your freshly caught fish because um, especially in volcanic areas, there can be a lot of mercury, naturally occurring mercury. and mercury doesn't really go away once it's there. Also, if you're in a mining area, they used to use mercury to go through the tailings and in the mining process. And I know a biologist who was with a USGS crew that was studying and through where the mercury was. And like he said that someplace, I don't remember where, he said someplace there was a teacup sized blob of mercury that they found in a creek. So sounds delicious, right? Steve says a little like fruits. Oh my gosh. When I went to college in Iowa, I went through, I think, a nutrient deficiency of fruits because I would eat the fruit that was there, but it didn't have any flavor. It didn't have any, I don't think it had the same nutrients just because things have to be picked so much sooner to get there on time. And I had to teach an adult how to pick out a cantaloupe. Like when it's mushy, that means it's bad. But yeah, it's interesting. Steve says we are volcano free here. Oh yeah, and there's a volcano on Hawaii somewhere. I don't know which island that is active again. Yeah. Adam says steelhead is rainbow trout, larger than 15 inches. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of them being in the ecosystem and living their life. They can do that. There was one point where I thought it would be really cool to have like around the top of a room have like a long fish tank and have the neons in there. I thought that would be cool because they would glow in the dark. More about weirdnesses. Yeah. Yeah, Steve, you're volcano free there. I'm not volcano free here. Well, here, but there's volcanoes nearby. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but the fruit definitely is different. I mean, I having gone from having a Meyer lemon tree among all the other fruits as well, and I never used a regular lemon, like a non-Meyer lemon. So all my lemon using was with Meyer lemons. And I had to get a lemon for a recipe, and I forgot it when I was in town, and so I went into close town, and there was one that didn't have a green spot on it. Like there was one, and it was like maybe smelled kind of like a lemon. I was like, oh, I miss my fruit. But I will have stuff again. Yes. Verna says, I love steelhead, not fond of salmon. Not fond of any fish. I had a pet fish once. His name was Ned. He was a beta. Would exercise him 10 minutes a day with a mirror. He made little bubble nests. But no, I'm not a fan of eating fish. So, all right, guys. Well, we're coming up on 8 o'clock. I think we had a really good discussion tonight. It's kind of went all over the place, but hopefully people enjoyed it and got a lot out of it and all of that. Adam says, I'm not a fishy kind of person either. I do like it depending on what it is and how fresh it is. There you go. There you go. I'm also not a fan of like clams and mussels and shrimp and stuff. I'm like, it's a filter feeder. They put out their filters and then they eat whatever is in there. Like, that doesn't sound very yummy. What did the beta fish say? Bubble, bubble, bubble. He would make a sound when we went to the top. I've seen better days. Man, Eric's not here to appreciate that joke. It's a good joke. All right, guys. I will see you guys next Monday. Next Monday, I'm good to go here, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And if you guys are looking for good recipes Christmassy recipes, New Year's recipes, that kind of thing. I do have pumpkin pie recipe on my channel. I also have a pie called fudge nut, 2 words, pie. Delicious. Challah is a Jewish bread, and Hanukkah, I believe, starts on Christmas this year. So that's a combined holiday. So that is a really, really tasty bread. Saffron is used in that. And if you grow saffron, like I did, you can put extra in there. So those are some good holiday breads. And then bear claws for Christmas morning. That is a really great idea. So that is some of the recipes you can go through. There's a cook with me playlist. And then again, if you want to do the cook with me live, that is a small fee, monthly fee for the membership, and we have a lot of fun. So let's see. Adam's first fish was a goldfish, named it Tree. That sounds like a name a child would name a goldfish. Ed, my internet is better at my new place than my old place because I have fiber internet. Yeah. Out in the boonies got fiber internet before my area in Gilroy did. Not really. It was nearby and you had the option, but the company was suspect. You're four. Yeah. Yeah, the internet is quite good here. I'm thinking about having them underground it from the pole to the house just because there's so many wires going over, and it's already almost been clipped by two big vehicle stuff that have been on the driveway. I think they said it was $200 to get the trencher out here and then $1 per foot after that. And then they said they'd have to do something to get underneath the driveway, but it might be worth it, you know? It doesn't sound too expensive for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't be able to put their line underground either. So, yeah. Anyway, so it is better. Thank you for noticing. Home Depot rents trenchers. They do, but I don't think you're allowed to bury other people's lines. Yeah, that would be the challenging part, not the digging or trenching. Well, I mean, it would be because it's a little rocky there, but it would be the not allowed part. So, all right, guys, we have solved the world's problems as far as we know right now. I'm sure there'll be more later. Have a wonderful holiday, whatever you are celebrating or not celebrating. Have a wonderful week. And we will see you guys right back here next. They do know, Steve. They come and check on things. We will be back here next week on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And have a wonderful holiday. Be safe, drive safe, get to where you're going safe, and get home safe. And if weather is in your way, maybe make it a phone call. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you for chatting with me tonight, and we will see you next time. Good night.